Hi students, welcome again. Today we are going to do the second chapter of economics, that is sectors of Indian economy. Okay, and again I am repeating, you have to take class chapter test after every lesson, otherwise it will not help you to get good marks. In SST, 50% is listening and understanding and 50% is writing and presenting yourself. I request you to take up regular chapter and test to understand how did you do and how you have to improve in future. So we are going to start with the second chapter, that is sectors of Indian economy. You have done a little bit in your small classes previously, but let us repeat it again. So what is economy? Economy is the word coined from the word eco, which means money. In this lesson, we are going to learn how do we make money. All of us work, your parents work to earn money, to run the families and to of course be happy in life, to get whatever you want. So in which profession your parents are working, think of it and think for other professions also, that where do they fall after learning this chapter. And in future, which sector will be comfortable for you, because you have to build your career. So this will be a glance how would the profession of yours would fall into the economical sector. So economical, in this chapter we are going to learn the income generated in various sectors of the country, and in the end we are going to club that income. Fine, we are going to club that income in terms of that it is going to help in generating country's GDP. Next, so this is the first chapter, first page which is given here, and we have so many pictures, small and big. Some people are working in brick kilns, some people are carrying some load on their head, and there is one lady showing something to the other lady to sell the product. Okay, so all of them are engaged in some kind of an activity, and there is one lady, she is growing flowers or some kind of a crop she is growing up. Okay, so you can compare all of them and we will figure out that all of them are falling into a different categories of economy. So again repeating, economy means earning money, how to generate income, and where the people of my country are involved, engaged much. That is also a part of it. Okay, and we are going to see what can we do to generate more employment in that particular sector or in other sector, which sector is moving ahead, what are the reasons behind it, that we are going to cover. So let us start from your parents. Where are they working, in which sector, you know about it. So we will put them into the categories that we are going to learn from this chapters, different sectors. So the entire economy, make a circle and divide them into major three categories. In class 10th we have majorly three categories, but in class 12th geography you have other categories also now, which they have inserted and included, but majorly the entire economy is divided into three. The first one is primary sector, that you are well known to it. The people, those who are involved in agriculture, those who are related to any activity directly to the nature. It could be a mining, it could be fishing, and agriculture, you are well aware of it. Okay, so to start with, write down the first question. What do you mean by primary sector and why do we call it a base sector? Okay, so yes, this is also known as a base sector because all the other sectors are dependent on the agriculture. First of all, we all need food, so food comes from which sector? Primary sector, through agriculture. And other things like honey, poultry, farming or dairy products, they would also fall into this category only, and we need that day and night. So other sectors or other people or all the people are dependent on this sector. That is why it is also known as base sector. So what is primary sector? Write down its features and explain it. So this is given in the first paragraph, very simple to understand. Few pictures are also given here. You can relate it, understand it. Next we have, or the next question, what do you mean by secondary sector? So primary sector we know. What is secondary sector? Secondary sector is basically manufacturing something, means you take raw material, you do something and make something out of it, would be called the manufacturing sector. Or industries, or small scale cottage industries, or making buildings, flyovers, and whatever is related to construction would fall also into this category of secondary. If your parents have factory, so they do what? They basically take the raw material from agriculture or mineral kind of a raw material they have to use to convert them into a finished products. For an example, sugar cane is used to make sugar that you eat in a finished product. And for cotton industry, the cotton shirts, cotton clothes that you wear, they come from cotton that is grown. But for other things, for example, this is a pen. I have a pen and this is made up of plastic. So can you tell me how plastic is manufactured? It is manufactured with the help of petroleum jelly or petroleum or petrochemical products. Okay, so all the things which get burnt easily, aag lag jati hai, they are burnt very easily because they are made up of petrochemical products. And this petroleum we get it through mining, you know very well. So mining is the primary sector occupation. You are getting out minerals out of it, petrol, and converting that petrol into various products, or use that petrol into petrochemical things into making various products are called manufacturing. Fine. So many of your parents would be having their own factories. They must be into the process of manufacturing something. Next we have the third one, and this is also known as industrial sector, the secondary one. And the third one which is mentioned here is tertiary sector, also known as service sector. In that sector, we do not manufacture anything and we are not directly connected to the nature. Here, one person or organization provide its services to the other person or the people. For example, take an example of a driver in your house. He comes to you, he runs your car, and 8 hours he is working for you and going away. He is not manufacturing anything, he is not bringing anything to your house. He is providing his services of knowledge to you and you are being benefited out of it. So this is one person providing his or her services to the other person. But one organization also provides services to the many people. For example, banking sector. You do what? You deposit your money. Bank is the entity or an organization. It takes your money, it keeps safe for you and charges some money out of it. And whenever you need any services to transfer your money or to take some money from other accounts, all the activities are done by the bank are called the service sector. Again, the second one is your hospital. Doctors provide the services to you. If individually they are doing it, so it could so they can do it on one-to-one basis, but in a hospital, that is an organization. So service means you are taking their expertise. For a driver also, that is his skill, and for a doctor, that is his skill to give you medicine. So you are taking their skill and you are paying for it. I hope it is clear. So the third is your tertiary sector, also known as service sector. And in service sector, we have transportation. This is actually a large sector as compared to the previous one. This is actually large. It has become large nowadays. And you know, due to corona, online classes, this is again the service sector. How do you conduct your online classes? Through Zoom. Zoom is a platform which is providing you the service. That is an entity. Okay, and you are taking health services of the Zoom. Zoom is there to provide the interface to you and to your teacher. So this is called what? service sector. And one more example, transportation, you take train, you take aeroplanes, you take buses. So what are you doing? You are taking the services. You are not buying plane, you are not buying bus, you are not manufacturing, you are taking the services, paying something and moving on. So this way, this is called the third sector, which is also known as the tertiary sector. Now what we have to do, all the people in my country or your country or in any country are falling into these categories only. So here we have some examples of other activities that I ask you. Here we have different examples in the book, but I ask you 3 questions. Army people, where would they fall? Gardener, where would he fall? An electrician, where would he fall? A barber, where would he fall? Write down the categories, primary, secondary or tertiary, in which sector they are falling. This way you will have a better idea and better understanding of sectors of economy, correct? Now the next and very crucial, not any sector is independent in nature. All of them are dependent or interdependent on each other. Without one sector, other sector cannot survive. For example, if there is a strike by the truck drivers, what will happen? And these truck drivers carry milk every day from Haryana to Delhi. Will people of Delhi get the milk? No. So, and what will happen to the milk within 2 days? It will perish, it will go waste. So primary sector is suffering, correct? And out of milk, so many products are manufactured, curd, ice creams, so many things are manufactured in the factories. If factory will not get the raw material from the producer, so do you think factories will run for 2 days? No. So one thing will impact the all of them. So this is a beautiful example which I want you to complete the table 2.1, in which it has been showing how all the 3 sectors are interdependent on each other. And we have, let's work these out. We have the third question where you have to put up in which sector these people are working, as I've given you few questions also, and you can do it from your NCERT as well. So far we have covered only 3 questions. What do you mean by primary sector? Why do we call it a base sector? What is secondary sector? What is tertiary / service sector? Fine. So you have to write the definitions, the features and with the examples. In economy you cannot do anything without example, okay? So example is very important thing. Now what we have to do? We have to calculate income of my country, or you can say how many people are engaged in different sector and which sector is producing how much income for the country. Assume out of 100 rupees, what amount is being contributed by which sector, and next you can say where most of the people are engaged. So certain questions are being answered with the help of understanding of the data that we get through income tax, that how people are working, and through other government agencies, central government agencies. What will we do? We are going to compare them also, so we can do the comparison, we can get the national income also. So to get the national income or the total income of any product, what to do, how to do it? There is one beautiful example. Assume there is a farmer and the farmer is selling, farmer has spent, assume 100 rupees, in growing his crop. And he has assumed, for an example, out of 100 rupees he is able to produce 100 kgs of wheat, assume, and this 100 kg of wheat he keeps 20 or 15 kg for himself, and the rest of the wheat he is selling to the bakery person, and that bakery person is buying that wheat in 120 rupees from the farmer, and he is making before bakery the farmer is selling that to a grinding machine person, where the wheat will be churned out and the wheat flour is made up. Next, he is that mill person who is grinding that wheat, is selling that wheat powder or the flour to the bakery person. The bakery person will take that wheat, will add some sugar, will add some ingredients into it to make biscuits, and that bakery person will sell that biscuit to the consumer like you and me. So in this entire process we saw 3-4 people are engaged, and all of them are earning profit amount. If farmer is spending 100 rupee, he is selling this to mill person in 120, and in 120 he is buying and selling other bakery person in 150 rupee. So this way, and the 150 is the cost for the bakery, and he's selling one piece of or you get biscuit packet of biscuit in 15 rupees, and he's selling 20 packets like this. So what amount he is earning, because he has added sugar into it, he's added other ingredients into it. Okay, so this way the entire thing is being processed. So here you can calculate the income of all the 3 people and their profits easily. But what should be the income, or what should be the final product, and how do we calculate it, the cost of the final product? So it is actually confusing sometimes also that how to calculate individual income. So what we do, that Government of India, there is an agency, Government of India, which calculates the price of final products. Okay, which calculates the price of final products, and in that price it automatically calculates the income of other people involved in it, right from farmer to mill person to bakery person. Fine. So the 15 rupee packet of biscuit has added income of all of them and the profit of all of them. This way the list of all the articles or the manufactured goods are with the government data. So they calculate the total income of the country, that my country people on the basis of biscuit price have earned this much this year. So this has been the income of my country, India. I am repeating, the final good and final service will tell you the final income of the country. Here we are not measuring exact profit earned by a farmer or mill person or a bakery person, somewhere less and somewhere more, but total income of the country can be measured with the help of final product and final service. Okay, we have the definition here written in the bold letters. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of sector for that year. Fine. So now this final product will tell you the GDP, that is gross domestic product. How much your country has produced and of what value. And within a country, we will not include any income from outside. That would become national income. That is a different story and higher level of economics. Here we have to fix to the GDP, that is gross domestic product. So next question, please write down, how do we calculate final goods and services, oblique, how do we calculate GDP? Where we have to write a definition which is given here, and then we have to write example. There we can explain the entire example which I just explained you, and you can read it from NCERT as well. So we have covered 4 questions so far. I hope it is clear to you. Next topic, we have historical changes in sectors. So as you know, with the advent of industrial revolution in 19th century, the secondary and tertiary sectors came into the picture. 300 years back, there was no secondary sector and tertiary sector. There was only one sector called primary sector. All people of the world, across the world, were involved in primary sector, rearing animals and growing the food, eating and sleeping, that's it. But in last 100 years things have changed across the world a lot with the advent of industrial revolution and of course the historical changes of political and social that we are aware of. But in this chapter we have to just focus the income area where the people are generating their income, where they have started generating more income. So as I've told you previously, 100% people were engaged in primary sector because there was no other work. Now they how are they moving, how the shift has come in last 100 years. So can we open this graph 1, GDP by primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Here we have a comparative study of 73-74 financial year with 2013 and 14 financial year. So you can see it easily that in 73 and 74 the total income was also less, and how the people were engaged. In blue line, in blue box we can see maximum people were engaged in primary sector, and in the next bar which we have of 2013 and 14 we can see green bar has increased, green part, so that means tertiary sector has been increased. So 3 sectors are shown here. So why has it happened so? So let us figure out. So next question is, what is the reason of rising tertiary sector in recent years? Question is, what is the reason of rising tertiary sector in recent years? Here we have the 4 reasons given by. The first reason is given on page number 24. In any country, several services have mushroomed up, like hospitals, education system, police stations, village administrations, banks, insurance. So all of them fall into which sector? The third one, the tertiary. That is why the people have moved into that. Government have opened so many opportunities to start with these sector, okay, or these areas, work fields. Second, the development of agriculture, because agriculture is also increasing. Agriculture is increasing because of population is rising. Population is rising, agriculture is increasing, and because of that we need finished products also. We need so many other things. In factories, see in which room you are sitting, everything is made up of in factories, okay. So if the population is increasing, their demands are rising, so the factories are also being put up. Industrial revolution of Europe is one of the examples that they have started manufacturing cars, weapons, etc, etc, and people are buying it, okay. So the secondary sector has also increased because of the population rise, food demands, and the third, income level of people have also increased. Now they have started eating out, going abroad, they're taking air travels. 20-30 years back people never used to go so often the way they are moving nowadays, okay. So the third one is that if the income of the people are rising, so they are also comfortable in spending. So in spending, so hotel industry, tertiary sector. Transport industry, air travel, tertiary sector. Shopping, buying things, trading or roaming tourism is complete, that would fall into the tertiary sector. And the last one is that new things have been come up, like information technology, Zoom, Facebook, all of them are what? These are the application based on information technology. So in recent years, information technology has grown up like anything. So this is the fourth reason of rising tertiary sector in recent years. So the second question, I hope you next question is clear to you. Give out the reasons of rising of tertiary sector. So we have the 4 reasons here. You have to write them following out the reason 1, 2, 3, 4 with the example. So that will be the complete answer. The next is, where are most of the people employed? So according to the previous graph, so we think that maximum people would be engaged in tertiary sector because it has been increased. But the problem is that no, people are not engaged there. In our country, maximum people are still in primary sector. Yes, maximum people are still in primary sector. So do you think that their income would have risen? No, their income has not been risen. Their condition has been deteriorated in, or you can say in understanding, unemployment. And this is called the disguised unemployment, which cannot be seen. We see so many people are working in the field. If you remove half of them, the production will remain the same. This is called disguised unemployment. So let us see, understand it. Graph 3, you can see where the people are engaged. Still the blue bar is bigger in both the chart, in both the comparative study. So why, what is the reason that? So reason is called underemployment. People are not getting work, so they are doing whatever they are doing, they are not getting opportunity. This is called unemployment. In unemployment we have underemployment. Underemployment where you are not getting work as per your potential, your capabilities, so you have no work, you are sitting. And in underemployment we have one example or one variant which is called disguised unemployment, which I have just discussed with you. If you remove half of the people working in a field, the production have no difference. That would be the same. The production will remain the same, output will remain the same if 100 people are working or 50 people are working. So this is called disguised unemployment. Fine. Here we have example of Lakshmi. I would like you to read on this example of Lakshmi, how she is facing a problem of being a farmer due to various reasons in our country. So that is actually India is an agriculturist country. Since ages we produce so many products in terms of all crops are grown in India due to various seasons, climatic conditions, which we are rich into that, but our people are not getting benefit of it. So it has some different reasons which we are not going into the detail. So next topic related to that. So what did we understand? First of all, we compared the three sector, income of the three sectors and where people are engaged. Through that we got to know that there is a problem of unemployment in our country, or you can say underemployment in our country. So how to create more employment? So next topic is there, that what can we do? So here we have few examples. For example, here we have an actual list of the paragraph. If you go paragraph wise paragraph, so you will have all the related information which I am telling you right now. You can go through your NCERT. I am telling you, without NCERT do not watch this lecture. You won't be able to relate where I am. So after Lakshmi wala paragraph, so how to create more employment. So here they have given few options to start with, like to provide, of course, loans on cheap rates. Cheap rates means on low interest. So Lakshmi like people can buy fertilizers, tools and tractors if they are required, or the required inputs which is needed in the agriculture. 1, 2, to provide best quality of fertilizers or the seeds or the help or whatever kind of support system is required by them. And the third is you can convert or divert existing farmers into different activities such as bee hiving, such as poultry farming and animal husbandry. Apart from this, we can start up with cold storage system in which they will get to work, and dal mill can be started there only, where the pulses are being produced. And alternative activities, if you start with the school, because we know still that India is not that literate, so there is some problem of education system. If every village has a good school or a big school, so the construction activity can be started, and that construction activity will give work to the people living in that village only. Okay, so this way you can say that work can be generated. And if the school are opening, so we need teachers also. Teachers will not come from Delhi and Mumbai to teach in that village, so local people will get employment. Local people will get employment there in education sector. So various tricks and bits can be done after seeing the requirement of that particular area. It could be a village, it could be a region, it could be a state. After addressing all that, alternative options can be started, and it is not completely the responsibility of the government. People themselves can ask for it and can seek help from the government by creating their project, or you can say the plan that we want to start with that. No doubt about it that government is there to support in terms of finances, in terms of providing other external help, but people should also come forward to generate more employment rather sitting idly. That is also one factor which I feel and see somewhere that people are not doing much, because if I see the beggars on the street with good health are just begging, so we cannot remove that poverty from the country. So unemployment cannot be removed, it has to be generated. So this entire paragraph has 4-5 options, and the last, according to Planning Commission, 20 lakhs jobs can be, or you can say the Niti Aayog, which has been, the name has been changed after the NDA 3 government in 2014. Planning Commission name has been changed to Niti Aayog. However, you can use both of them interchangeably. That 20 lakhs jobs only can be created in education sector, and tourism can do wonderful jobs, creation of jobs in our country. Yes, this tourism industry. So we can club them together. We have to create a local program, or think that how can we create more employment for the people. So the next question is how to create more employment, and in related to that, what are the steps by the government to create more employment is called MG Narega. So this is a scheme or the program of the government which is run by, you have done in class 9th also, MG Narega, in which 150 nowadays employment is provided in a year to a village people only, and only in primary sector, and 1/3 women are given opportunities here. This is the most important. And next question, what is MG Narega oblique, what is the government's policy in creating more employment, where you have to write the steps, what is MG Narega and its features. Very, very important. It comes every year. Fine. Most of the time MG Narega is being asked in different questions, 3 or 5. Fine. So this way I have covered few questions till now. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubt, I am repeating, I am just a call away or a mail away. You can write to me. I will answer in all your questions and your doubt classes. I am repeating again. Please keep on taking your test. Do not run away from taking test, else you won't serve the purpose of watching this lecture. Fine. So the major part we have covered here, the primary, secondary and tertiary, and people engaged there, their earning, how to calculate national income. Next topic is division of sectors as organized and unorganized. So that means we have previously divided them in terms of work, primary, secondary and tertiary. Now this is, I am dividing on the basis of organized and unorganized. Self-explanatory, you can see there are 2 examples, Kanta and Kamal. Kanta is working in office where her office is well managed, having clean water, toilets, electricity, hygiene. Apart from this, she is getting 4 days week off in a month, salary in the end of the month. Apart from this, she is getting certain benefits like maternity leave when she is pregnant, retirement benefits also, medical benefits also. So whatever benefits I have just talked about, if it is provided to you, is called organized sector in which you are working. And if half of them are provided to you, it is called semi-organized. If none of them is provided to you, it's called unorganized. Kamal is working in a shop 12 hours a day. He does not know when he would be fired tomorrow. He does not get any other benefit apart from the daily wages, or you can say monthly salary, which is very less. No toilet for him, no any extra benefits provided to him. So Kamal is working in unorganized sector, Kanta is working in organized sector. So in India, 90% people are working in unorganized sector or semi-organized sector. Why does it happen? Because our structure, social structure is like that, or our economical structure is such as that they're working in unorganized sector. So no doubt about it, if you will ask the question, first question, write down the difference between organized and unorganized sector. 5 points, sir, 5 points, sir. Organized are registered with the government, unorganized are not registered. They have everything on papers with complete infrastructure. They don't have everything. They have full facilities for their employees. They don't have full facilities for their employees. Salaries are fixed, other benefits are fixed. Salaries are less and benefits are not there. Very important. So I am repeating, primary, secondary, tertiary, in all of them you will find organized as well as unorganized. in primary, secondary, tertiary, you will find organized as well as unorganized sector. Okay, so this way you have to learn from that angle also. Next question will be coming to your mind. So ma'am, people must be exploited. Yes, in unorganized sector people are exploited. What to do? What are the steps? So who will take care of that and who will look after them? No doubt about it, the role of the government agencies. They should have an eye on these organizations where labor should not be exploited. That is why we have labor laws and we have labor unions also, and through that we can protect their rights to a larger extent. But individual person may not be able to fight for his or her right, but once you are a part of an organization or a big organized sector, unorganized sector, still you can have a say in that. And role of government to visit such kind of a places where people are working, to check their hygienic conditions, water, electricity. You must have seen in the newspapers that many children are being evacuated from a factory because the children are being employed there in miserable conditions. Okay, such kind of a newses tell you that still maximum people in our country are working in unorganized sector and we need to protect them. So next question, how to protect people in unorganized sector? How to protect people working in unorganized sector? It is directly given here. You have 4 small paragraphs you can read on and you can write your answer easily. So the role of the government, awareness programs of to tell the people in general that what can you do if you are being exploited, and the places like police station or the government agencies or the offices where you can go and report the cases. And apart from this, awareness program is, I think, the most important, where you know what you have to do and what you don't have to do. Correct? So here the next question goes, how to protect workers in unorganized sector, right? And last topic is that all the sectors, all the work of the economy are either divided into government ownership or private ownership. Government ownership means public. Whatever organization is there, okay, it would be either government or private. So government organization, its motive is welfare, and private organizations' motive is to earn money. They will not enter into any work unless until they don't have to generate profit. I'm talking about private. And public, because we are in democracy and we have the mixed economy in which we give equality to government sector as well as private sector, but the objective of public sector is welfare motive. They work, they form policies, whatever they do it for the welfare of the people, and the amount they take in return is very minimum. You must have visited government hospitals, government dispensaries, government schools. They have very less fee, or they charge very less for any service they provide. And on the other hand, you must have visited private hospitals. They charge you much because their motive is profit and their motive is to help and to do welfare for the public. So the next question goes, differentiate between public sector and private sector. You have to give the definition, you have to give the examples, and you have to explain them in detail. Okay, next we have, why do we need, and the last question of this chapter is that, why do we need public sector? We need public sector because public or the government can take risk. Yes, big risk. If it losses, it has many provisions to cover it up. But for a private player, it is very difficult. A private person will not invest in any large project unless he is not sure or secured. But government can take risk. Second, it requires a lot of money. Government has this much money to spend, but an individual or an organization, except few like Tata or Reliance, except few, they don't take much risk unless they are not secure. Means they cannot spend this much money. They don't have much money also to spend. And the third is that motive. The welfare motive is means to empower the people, to help the people, right? So here in the case of public sector, government plays an important role, a major role to help to empower people, and private sector major motive is to earn and generate profit first, then to see other things. So we need public sector. So I asked you to write the difference between public sector and private sector and their differences. In the next question, why do we need public sector? The answer to it is that we need public sector a lot, because without that we cannot, poor people you can say cannot survive properly. They need support system by the government. So this way, summing up is the last your this purple box conclusion. You can go through that and you will figure out that in this entire chapter we have done majorly 3 types of sectors. First sector is in terms of income generation, primary, secondary and tertiary, where we learnt about how to calculate JTP, where we learnt comparison also, where maximum people are engaged, from where our country is getting more income. That was a one section. The second section was organized sector and unorganized sector, how people are working in organized and unorganized sector, the differences. And the next and the third difference we saw in the sectors is ownership, private and public, and their differences. And in that we did few questions in relation to that. I hope we have covered 8 to 10 questions in this chapter. And if you need any doubt clearing, we can meet up anytime during doubt clearing sessions. And again, I'm repeating, please take up the test to do best preparation and to learn how to present SST paper to get full marks. Okay, so I hope the chapter was clear to you. Anything, you are welcome through mail or contact. Thank you.